to English Nomad in Oz. This is episode 3, 5 reasons I don't own a TV. Okay, I'll preface this video just by saying that I was always a big TV addict. I used to love watching television. I grew up in the 1970s, 1980s, glued to the television screen. And my parents used to have to crowbar me away from the television when it was bedtime. I absolutely love television. So from someone that used to love television to someone who actually hates and despises television, why is that? What are the reasons? Well, I'll get into that right now. Reason number 1. Well, I stopped watching television. I don't know what happened. I think I rediscovered music, rediscovered my passion for listening to music that I used to listen to in my youth. I also like to watch YouTube videos, reading. I'm a very avid reader. So I found that I was seldom actually watching television. And there's probably there's probably reasons why I stopped watching television, why I switched off, and I will get into those in this presentation. So what I ended up doing is I ended up using my television mostly to watch DVDs on. So I had 2 televisions. I had one in my old house in the main living area, and then I had a slightly better, bigger television in my home theatre. And between the 2 of them, I could probably count on one hand how many times those televisions got switched on in a month. So, reason number 2. I guess this is very subjective, but I think for me it was the crap programs that were on the television, why I switched off, why I stopped watching it. TV program producers seem to find a formula that is popular and they do it to death. There is no original programming, no original ideas or concepts in TV programs. It seems to be the same old, over and over again. You know, endless stream of so-called reality TV shows, which are contrived and a vehicle for endless product placement. You know, always trying to sell you something. So crap TV programs, that was one of the reasons I switched off. Next one, reason number 3. Programs that program. What do I mean by that? Well, I believe that TV is a very powerful tool that is being used by the so-called left and so-called liberals to shape our thoughts and beliefs through television programs. This constant barrage of virtue signalling about diversity by creating storylines in TV programs or characters in TV programs that raise issue and create debate on hot topics in our society and culture, such as race, sexual or gender identity. And quite frankly, I don't want to be virtue signalled all the time about what I should believe and what I shouldn't believe, by having these messages constantly pushed on me when I switch on the television. So I'm really over this manipulation of our thoughts through the television. So on to reason number 4. Well, I used to love watching the news and current affairs programs, but now I've recognised that mainstream media is corrupt. It's lies. The mainstream news is another form of thought shaping. Most of the news that we watch comes from the same sources. Sources such as Reuters, the Associated Press, and follow the same narrative. So it's It's the same message whether you watch it on Channel 10, Channel 9, Channel 1, ABC. It's the same message, the same narrative over and over again. And the media owners and the companies that provide most of the sources of media or news are in collusion with the global elites who want to give us a particular message, who want to feed us a particular narrative. I'll give you a really good example of that. So we all remember in the post 9/11 build up to the war on terror, and when George Bush Jr. decided to go back to Iraq. And what was the excuse that they used? Well, weapons of mass destruction. And the mainstream media, the mainstream news, colluded with the American intelligence services, the British intelligence services, to keep pushing this message that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, and that's why we must go to war, because the world will not be safe while Saddam Hussein has got weapons of mass destruction. And it turned out to be a complete lie. Had we had real journalists with integrity, they would have looked into these claims being pushed by the governments to go to war in Iraq, and investigated the claims and maybe refuted some of the claims being made by George Bush's administration and Tony Blair's administration in the UK. But they didn't question it, they just pushed out that narrative to sell an idea to the people that we have to go to war and kill millions of people, innocent people killed, and the mainstream media colluded to allow that to happen. And you know, we've seen an awful lot in the media recently about mainstream news in America being fake news. And it is. It's completely fake, phony and false. So, yes, that is one of the biggest reasons I stopped watching television, is because I no longer trust the information that I'm being given on the news. They've lost all credibility, and when a media or when a medium loses credibility and people no longer trust it, then it's just become a propaganda machine. And that is what the mainstream media is. It's a propaganda machine used by the global elites to push a narrative on us plebs, to make us believe something which isn't true. So on to my last reason. Now, this one's probably quite contentious. I believe that TV is turning us into idiots. I believe TV is a distraction from what is really happening in the world. So most people are glued to the television sets in their free time. While they're glued to the TV sets, watching all these programs, they're not actually aware of what is going on in the world around them. You know, like a magician uses sleight of hand to distract the audience from what he's actually doing, that's exactly what the TV is. It's turning the masses into zombies who do not question the status quo. TV is a way of making you spend money on shit that you don't need. So the constant advertisements, the product placements in TV programs that drive you to go out and buy stuff that you don't necessarily need, that you don't necessarily want, but you feel you have to have it, this keep up with the Joneses. You know, advertisers like to sell you a lifestyle. You know, if you buy their crap, your life is going to be so much better. I mean, where do some of these fads come from? You know, we've had this fad here in Australia, it's probably been all over the world, fidget spinners. Where did these fidget spinners come from? Well, I did a little bit digging around just to find out, and apparently this craze has been perpetuated by television. You know, people saw it on television, oh, fidget spinners, and suddenly this craze blew up out of nowhere and will fizzle away just as quickly. And this is the power that television has on us. You know, so I do believe that television is turning us into idiots. Yeah, so those are my 5 main reasons. So what do you think about that? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If so, please comment below.